Hello kids, I am Priyanka and I'm back again with my new chapter of class 7, chapter 1, Eidgah. Now we'll start with section 1. How wonderful and beautiful was the morning of Eid. The trees looked greener and the field more festive. The sky had a lovely pink glow. The sun seemed brighter and more dazzling than before to wish the world happy, very happy Eid. The village was filled with excitement. Everyone was up early to go for Eidgah. The boys were more excited than others. They had been talking about it all the time. Finally, they had come, and now they were impatient. They were taking their treasures out of pocket, counting and recounting it before putting it back. Mahmoud counted 1, 2, 10, 12. He had 12 coins. Mohsin had 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 15 coins. With this money, they would buy countless things like toys, sweets, paper pipes, rubber balls, and much more. The happiest of the boy was Hamid. He was only 4, thin and poor dressed. Last year his father had died of cholera. Then his mother also died. From then Hamid lived with his old granny Amina and was a happy as lark. She told him that his father had gone to earn money and that his mother had gone to Allah to get lovely gifts for him. This made Hamid very happy. Hamid had no shoes on his feet. The cap on his head was soiled and tattered. He knew that his father would come back with sack of full of silvers and his mother with gifts from Allah. Then he could have more than Mahmud, Mohsin, Noore, and Sami. Hamid Granny Amina was sad. It was Eid and she did not have even a handful of grains. If only her son was there, it could have been different kind of Eid. Hamid went to his grandmother and said, Granny, I will be the first to get back. Don't worry. And Amina was worried. Other boys was going out with their fathers. How could she let him go in the fair all by himself? Hamid left with the other boys. Hamid was the only one with the wings on his feet. He ran on ahead of the elders and waited for under the tree. They reached the suburbs of the town. On both sides the roads were big houses of rich in gardens and mango and lychee trees were full of fruits. Then they came across a store of sweet vendors, all decorated off gaily. Every store has sweet piled up in heaps like a mountain. Section 2. Soon the roads began to get crowded. Some people were on chongas, ikas, and some were on motorcycle. All were wearing perfumes, all bursting in with excitement. Children were calm and contented a lot. For village children, everything in the town was wonderful. Whatever caught their eye just stood and they gaped at it with wonder. At last the Eidgah came into view. There was a row upon row of worshippers as far as the eye could see. Newcomers linked themselves behind the ones already there. The prayer was over. Men embraced each other. They descended on sweet and toy vendors' stores like an army moving to attack. They were the merry-go-round with wooden elephant horses and camels. You paid 1 paisa and had 25 rounds of fun. Mahmoud and Mohsin, Murray, and other boys mounted the horse and camels. Hamid watched them for a distance. All he had were 3 paise. He could not part with a third of his treasures for a few miserable rounds. They were soon done with their rides. Then it was time for the toys. There was a row of stalls on one side with the kind of toys soldiers and milkmaid, kings and knights, water carriers and washerwomen and holy maid. Mahmud bought a policeman in curry with a red turban on his head and a gun on his shoulders. Mohsin bought a water carrier while Noore got a lawyer. Those toys cost 2 paise each. Hamid had only 3 paise. How could he buy such an expensive toy? They dropped out of his hand. They could be smashed or bits. If a drop of water fell on them, the color would run. But he looked at them hungrily and wished he could hold them in their hand just for a moment or two. After the toys, it was a sweet. Someone bought samsa seed candy. some others gulab jamuns or halwas. They smacked their lips with relish. Only Hamid was left. Only Hamid was left out. Section 3. Next to the sweet shop, there was new hardware stores and jewelry shop. Boys were not interested in anything there, so they walked ahead except Hamid. It occurred to Hamid that his granny did not have a pair of tongas. Each time she cooked chapati, the iron pan burnt her hand. If she took her a pair of tongas, she would be very pleased. She would never again burn her hand. It would be really useful thing to have in his house. So Hamid stopped to look at a pile of tongas and hardware shops and asked the shopkeeper, "How much of this pair of tongas?" Shopkeeper looked at him, replied, "It's not for you, it's not for sale or not. Why should it be for sale? It will cost 6 paise." Hamid's heart sank. "Tell me the correct price," he said. "All right, I will. It will have 5 paise. Take it or leave it." Hamid said, "Will you give me for 3?" Then he walked away. Afraid the shopkeeper would scream at him, but the shopkeeper did not scream. On one of the contrary, he had Hamid back and gave him the pair of tonga. Hamid carried it on the shoulders as it was a gun to show to his friends. Mohsin laughed and said, "Are you crazy? What will you do with the tongs?" Hamid flung the tongue on the ground and replied, "Try and throw your water carrier on the ground, it will break." Mahmud said, "Are these tongs some kind of toy?" "Why not?" replied Hamid. "Place them across your shoulders, and then it is a gun. Carry them in your hands, and it's like a musical instrument carried by a singing monk, and the tongs are like a tiger's among toys." Sami, who had bought a small tambourine, asked, "Will be exchange them for my tambourine? It is worth 8 paise." But Hamid could not. The pair of tongs won every one over on its side. By 11, the village was again filled with excitement. All those who had gone to fair were back to home. Hamid too returned home. As soon as she heard his voice, Granny Anima ran out of his house, picked him up, and kissed him. Suddenly he noticed the tongue in his hand. Where did you find these tongs?" "I bought them." "How much did you pay for them?" 3 paise." "You are a stupid child. It's almost noon and you haven't had anything to eat and drink. Couldn't you find anything better in the fair than a pair of tongs?" Hamid replied in an injured tone, "You burn your hands on the iron pan, so I thought them." Granny was deeply moved by Hamid's selfishness. She started crying for the wretched woman, and the pair of tongs was as precious as a sack of silvers. And this story is by Munshi Premchand. Thank you.